Hello guys, this is a weekly recap. While I was backtesting GBP USD, the data of July 2023, the first week of July, which is also the NFP week, as you can see, my bias was bullish because of this weekly fair value gap. It filled the weekly fair value gap and it gave a beautiful rejection candlestick from there. So my weekly bias was bullish, so I was more headed towards looking for buys rather than sells, and I did all the due diligence. Whereas in the daily time frame, the market was bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. As you can see, this was the higher low, higher high, right? This is the break of structure to the upside. So whatever happens between this, the market's still bullish. And if we draw the fib, which I have already drawn in my previous video, it's also retracing from the fib discounted level below the discounted level, so which is also a very good sign that the market is literally has made the retracement enough to make the move, continue making the move, right? Whereas on the 4-hour time frame, we can see the market was making lower highs and lower lows. It was the retracement in the higher time frames like daily and weekly, which will obviously be a whole trend in the 4-hour, because of that's how the market moves. That's what price action is, right? Market structure. Whereas in the 4-hour time frame, it was making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. Here it changed character to the upside around this point. Around this point, the 4-hour changed character to the upside. And now it has given us more confluence that now we can start to look for buys from this point right here, which happened on Friday. You can see here it was June 30, change of character happened. So the weekly is saying bias is bullish. Daily we don't trade Mondays usually, but the daily is also saying bullish because of the how the Friday closed. Friday engulfed the previous two candles, so we are looking for buys. Now we go to the 1-hour time frame. Let me show you how was my week. As you can see, Monday started here. Let me show you with the replay mode, right, so that it might be a little bit easier. Just a quick overview of the week. You can see Monday I was looking for buys, right? So when I'm looking for buys, the best case scenario is Asian low to get swept, because we are looking for buys, Asian low to get swept, and our timing is 1:30, which is London 8 a.m. London session open, and our target will be previous week high. That is our A class setup. Asian low gets swept, a doji rejection from the 15 minutes, and we can target the previous week high respecting the previous week low. That is our A class setup. In Monday, probably we entered a trade here while backtesting and we got out at break even, which ended up playing out. And on Tuesday, and also a very important thing here, Monday made the low of the week. Sometimes the market will make the low of the week on Monday, and then we can catch beautiful trades on all over the week. So don't hurry. If the bias is not sure, if you're not sure with your bias, wait for Monday to play out. Having a little bit patience will not cost you anything. Now Tuesday was a continuation setup. As you can see, the market was so bullish that I have drawn the demand zone right here. It didn't even sweep the Asian low, didn't sweep this liquidity here. If it swept this liquidity, the Asian low, and came to this demand, this would have been a valid trade. But yeah, it's still a kinda a valid trade, but not one of the best trades, as our setup is Asian low or high swept, liquidity sweep. But this was a continuation model, so I didn't execute it. But while backtesting, just for practice purposes, I have taken the trade, and it was a very beautiful trade. Played out to the T, which was Tuesday, and the New York session, like we know, the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, right? So mostly what happens is the Asian session accumulates, the London session manipulates and kind of make the moves, and the New York session is mostly the distribution. You can see The London session made the move and New York literally went opposite. That's how the session works. On Wednesday, the price gave a early move. Early move swept the Asian low and Asian high both. Sometimes the price will do something like this. Here we don't need to be panic or something. This is just now that the Asian low, we are not looking at the Asian low, but we are looking at this low for target purposes. That's the only thing. If the Asian high or Asian low is swept, both are swept, that means we are looking at that high rather than the Asian high or low, if it makes sense. And now here the market came down on the hourly. I'm showing you at the hourly just for a rough purpose. I have done the analysis already on the 15, or if you want to see on 15, then this move happened on 11:45, which we don't trade. We trade only after 1:30, right? Asian London open, because mostly the inducement happens there. Here the market came all the way down here, induced all of these buyers, all of their positions came up, and then pretty much made the move from here. We targeted this high here, which didn't got hit, so we got out at break even, and this was a break even trade. And now, yeah, this trade played out beautifully on New York session. On Wednesday there was no news, and also news is very important, and the DXY correlation is very important, right? So I was looking everything at that, but I cannot show everything on this video. So it was correlating with DXY, GBP USD, and there was also no news on Wednesday, so it was a very high probability day to trade. Whereas the move happened before New York session. Yeah, it also keep in mind, if there is news on New York session 7 p.m., which is New York open on USA, there is news mostly at that times, so you can trade 2 hours before news. That's a rule that I've made. Now let's see what happens. My TP was 7. If I would aim a 1:7, I would hit it easy on New York session. Yeah, New York session trades are also very beautiful. It's the same thing. We are doing the same thing. We're looking for the same thing, but it's just the session difference. So Wednesday was a buy, and Thursday and Friday, the next 2 days were NFP. As this is the NFP week, Thursday and Friday were NFP week, so I preferred not to trade. But while backtesting, I'm just watching for things. So Thursday literally didn't sweep the Asian low. Thursday didn't sweep the Asian low, so we didn't do the trade. Friday, whereas Friday swept all of this liquidity right here from Thursday, swept all of this liquidity, swept this liquidity right here, which is now swept. So this liquidity got swept, and it came all the way down here, made the previous daily low on Thursday. And let's see what happens on Friday. Friday, the Asian low got swept. The market was so bullish. Thursday closed so bullish that, yeah, I marked this demand zone, I marked all of this, but the price decided not to respect these zones. So yeah, you marking the zones isn't enough, right? The market should come and react off of that zone, which it didn't, so it is what it is. There was also a very weak demand zone here, which also didn't go tapped in, so we couldn't do nothing in this case, and the rest is history. Literally, this week was a very bullish week, and exactly my target was this draw of liquidity on the weekly. You may be asking why I targeted this draw of liquidity, because in the weekly time frame you can clearly see the market is bullish, right? Making higher highs, higher lows, and when the market is bullish, we will target the previous high to get broken, because when the market is bullish, if the previous high is broken, that will be called the break of structure, and after that happens, it is a good sign that the trend is gonna continue. So my main target was this one, but I didn't thought that this will get hit at this pace in this week itself, but it did. So got some beautiful trades in here, got some beautiful losses. There was inducement, got to learn a lot of things from this week, and we'll keep looking for things like this. And will backtest nicely. Always be careful of the inducement and only trade with your rules. You'll become profitable. Easy.